Thank you for getting us back. I don't think I could have survived that conversation behind the scenes with Black about the history of football. He's a very excited German man about the upcoming Euros. As I'm more excited about this DOTA that we have ahead of us, Black. A bit of a pause before we jump into the first series of the day, but the teams are now ready, and Tunisia will start us off by banning the Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, Egypt did draft it yesterday, although there was an interesting combination, let's put it that way. Night Stalker and Phoenix in the team, generally not what you want. Of course, they made it work anyway. Yeah, it's a strong hero. I'm probably thinking we're gonna see it a lot more, especially in top Dota. Like combinations like Mars Phoenix have been super strong for a long time.
Yeah,
and it's coming back again a little bit, which is, I don't know if it's good or bad, to be honest. I always hated playing against it. It's just so strong. You're in the arena, then you egg, and you can't hit the egg, and you just lose.
even like with the upcoming resurgence of Medusa, right? People want to go hit the egg. We pop the Stone Gaze on the Medusa. You're like, what do? We need to run from the Medusa, but the egg is gonna stun us. It's interesting how this hero is coming back to life. I feel like Phoenix is almost never out of the meta if you think about it properly, Black. But a hero that also hasn't been out of the meta for that long, it's this Pangolier.
Yeah, City Hero, probably one of my most hated heroes in all of Dota. It's just the hero concept, kind of like Bad Rider. There's just some concepts in Dota that cannot be balanced, There will never be a time where Pangolier is just okay. Either Pangolier is broken, or you nerf him to a point where he's absolutely useless. Same with Bad Rider. Either he's broken, absolutely useless. There's nothing in between. And these kind of concepts I really just dislike. Because that means every time you see Pango, he's just way too strong. And I mean, how many nerfs did he survive now? Like 5, 6, 7 nerf patches in a row,
Yeah.
maybe even more than that. And he's still super strong. Like, can you imagine how strong he was back then?
I mean, it was 6 patches, but each patch, it doesn't come just with single nerf. It's multiple nerfs per patch, right? It's really strange, but seeing it banned out in the first phase, Tunisia, a bit of a curious one. Now the Templar Assassin, not so curious. We've seen how strong this hero can be yesterday multiple times, and they will get their hands on the Tiny. I love this. This is one of their heroes that they ran multiple times yesterday, including in their victory versus the Ivory Coast. And now Egypt has the opportunity to get their hands on Shadow Fiend. Come on, Black, manifest it.
No. I don't want Egypt to pick it because it would make the game too easy for them. I want Tunisia to pick it.
Makes sense to me. They're burning a bit of reserve time. I thought they might just go straight in with a response to the Tiny. I don't think it's that big of a surprise, and it will come through in the form of the Spirit
back to the
Breaker.
tower. Straight away.
Oh my goodness. Bob
is ready. Bob is ready. Now, one hero that probably will get banned out almost straight away is Lifestealer. Lifestealer is actually the best carry in the game against Tiny, I'd say. Like, Tiny just can't touch Lifestealer. There's nothing you can do. Massive health pool, so Lifestealer just heals infinitely. And you don't really have, as a Tiny, you don't have the best single target damage. You're more like an AoE cleave kind of carry. So yeah, Lifestealer is amazing. Oh, they banned the SF. Why can't my dreams come true?
Wait. We just talked yesterday about how your dreams came true. You can't say this now.
Yeah, it's a different dream.
There's multiple dreams. Okay, I like that. A man of multiple layers is my friend Dominic, ladies and gentlemen. But now, Shadowfiend taken out. So is the Grimstroke, which was a great hero for Egypt yesterday. I remember seeing them play that. I think it was in map 1 victory that they had versus Libya. This Spirit Breaker, do you think there's any potential for a flex Spirit Breaker here? Can you run this hero as an offlane nowadays, or is he purely a position 4?
The roles I can see him in are probably all roles except carry. We have seen some Spirit Breakers, some 5 Spirit Breakers, some 3, 4. Pretty much seen this here in all roles except carry. And this particular game, though, I would love to see a Lifestealer, because Lifestealer Spirit Breaker is just absolutely insane together. Go for the Gyrocopter against Tiny, actually.
Interesting. And the Venomancer instant response from Tunisia. This is very similar to the draft they ran yesterday off stream, Black. I'm just reminding you, they had Tiny, Veno, OD, Underlord, and Shadow Fiend. The Shadow Fiend they banned themselves, but the other two components of that draft are still available for them if they want to go that route.
Yeah. Lifesteal still looks like a prime pick here, though. Let's see what they pick next. It could just be a support gyro, right? Support gyro is not bad.
Can I tell you a fun fact? So Tunisia, with this draft yesterday, okay, it's going to be a Slardar. Very good. You were mentioning the Lifestealer, right? Support gyro and then potential Lifestealer. They defeated the Lifestealer in 22 minutes with this tiny carry.
Ooh, interesting. But it wasn't an Egypt Lifestealer.
That is true. I mean, teams and styles do make matchups, of course. We can only theorize so much, but it would be like me playing versus... I don't know, Falcons right now, and I would probably lose no matter what heroes they play.
We could probably make a team that, you know, if they have enough handicaps, we can do something.
What do you mean by that? How many finger or how many hands would they have to not have for you plus me in a team to beat them?
We're talking heroes. Strategy, you know. I can give them a pretty terrible draft. They wouldn't make it work. No. I would lead us to victory for sure.
Okay, fine. What would you play in that matchup? What role?
Storm.
Oh, Storm, okay.
I would play Storm, and I would give them like the 5 worst heroes against Storm, and I would just roll them.
And what would you want me to be? Should I be the Lion to give you some money? The Keeper of the Light? Like, what's the plan there?
Coddle works. IO could be good.
We're cooking. I think we're cooking. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it over here. Black and Waxen versus Falcons. Someone make it happen.
Dire team pick.
Right now.
Yeah, I mean, we need 3 other teammates, but we'll make it through. Oh, Chaos Knight. Okay. I don't know what's happening, Black. Chaos Knight was also in that game yesterday that the Ivory Coast ran. They had a questionable draft. They had both CK and Lifestealer in the same team, and they lost to the Tiny and Veno.
Well, I mean, in theory, Tiny is very good against CK. Very interesting.
CK as well.
I don't know why they picked the CK, to be honest. It's an amazing hero against Veno and Slada, of course, but Tiny, as I said, is one of the best heroes against CK. So they kind of counterpick themselves in that regard. The new Dragon Knight, amazing hero. I think there's very little downsides to it. Good stun. Tiny loves flat damage. Sorry, Tiny hates flat damage reductions like Dragon Knight has. If he skills the talent, I think it's up to minus 60%, which is ridiculous. Tiny loses like 200 damage from that.
Are there any chances we're looking at a really funky draft with a Spirit Breaker 4, Gyro 5, and a CK3?
That could potentially work if they want to be really greedy.
Yeah.
But that's what it really would be. Very, very greedy.
And Tunisia will respond very nicely.
So it's a support Tiny. That makes CK super strong.
Mid-Tiny?
Okay, it could be a mid-Tiny too, yeah. But generally, you wouldn't really build it just like you would a carry Tiny. So the CK now with that Ursa pick got way stronger because CK is actually considered a counter to Ursa.
Yeah.
Not sure why they picked that Ursa. Because it could just be a DK mid, Chaos Knight safe, and then you pick another off and it's really good against Ursa, and your lineup looks really good suddenly.
Could this be, again, I'm thinking like not outside of the box, I'm thinking outside of the realm. Could this be like a, I don't know, TI9 Weeha Ursa mid just destroys the DK mid?
It could work, but the way the matchups kind of evolved throughout time and the defensive capabilities of heroes, it's not that easy to dominate heroes in mid lane anymore, like an Ursa, for example.
The water runes and all that,
yeah. Even the lane got a little bit shorter as well over time. So chasing heroes like Ursa a little bit worse than that now. But it could work. I mean, I'm the kind of guy that would definitely do that. You know, it's like, oh, I see some weird mid hero. I'm like, oh, give me Ursa, give me Slark, whatever. I'm gonna poop on that guy. I'm gonna carry you guys.
Could also be a Slaughter mid, right? Something that we've seen a bit more, I think, speaking of Team Falcons, even Malrine ran this a few times with various degrees of success. Various degrees, well, when you lose once a game with a Slaughter mid, when you're winning everything else with all the other heroes, you gotta mention that. But Tunisia is still afraid of a Meepo. I think a Meepo on the side of Egypt would have been absolutely bonkers, and I don't think I wanted to see anything like that from them anyway. But it's going to be the Lion Zeus bands coming in from Egypt, so they're taking out some of the burst that Tunisia could get on their draft to complete this. Plenty of reserve time for the Tunisian squad, whereas Egypt doesn't have a reserve time left at all to get the overall last pick draft. So, Black, what would you like to see from Tunisia right now?
5 seconds.
This Ursa pick made things a little bit more awkward. I would have loved to see a hero like Disruptor that really just starts to fight for them. Because right now they're really good at killing heroes, but they aren't the greatest until Tiny Dagger and actually initiating. You know, they see a Slaughter, they just run away. They see a Venom, just run away. It's very easy for them to just disengage. So maybe when you have a DK already, I would love to see something like a Puck. Puck is like a very good solution if you need a team fight starter and a Disabler. Maybe even Invoker. Invoker is really good against these heroes.
I like that. No, the Invoker sounds like a good choice for me as well.
Storm you can always just do Storm. Yeah, Storm is always Storm.
Storm is still there for Tunisia if they want to go that route, and I don't think it's the best Storm game, but he could make it work. And they're gonna go Storm, of course. What doesn't surprise me, to be honest. But we've seen attempts from teams to counter Storm with the Leshrac. That would need to be a DK offlane, but it's gonna be the Enigma. Wow, wait, that means we're gonna have a offlane Spirit Breaker?
They don't use their actual names, so it's
it's a bit hard for us, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. Just checking right now. So
let me see. We have.
So it's a position 5 Gyro. It's a position 3 Enigma. It's a position 2 DK. Position 1 Chaos Knight. Yeah. It's a position 4 Spirit Breaker and a 3 Enigma.
Yeah, 3 Enigma makes sense. I love it against Ursa. Ursa doesn't really deal too well with Enigma. It's a good answer against Storm Spirit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not easy for them to deal with Enigma for sure. I like it.
On the Radiant side, let's take a quick look. It will be a position 4 Tiny. Q will be the one running that one. Conan will be the position 5. Venomancer, Zenetti, the Slaughter on the off lane, picking the Legacy facet, which, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, me and Black are leg day fanatics. Cancun on the position 1 Ursa, and last but not least, Stone on the truly well-tested Storm Spirit mid.
Never skip leg day. I don't know if they can lose. Look at that DK shield.
I don't know if they can lose. Okay.
Yeah, look. Do you see the DK shield? How do you lose with that?
I mean, it's so massive. It can just defend it from everybody around him. And Kemps has played some really beautiful Dota yesterday, right? I mean, I don't know. It's also very greedy lineup for the Dire side. Can we agree on that? Like Spirit Breaker, Gyro supports, Enigma 3.
Yeah, it's insanely greedy. This here looks exactly like a matchmaking game. Like, yeah, I kind of don't want to play 5, but I was gonna pick Gyrocopter. You know, get a couple of solo kills, get my shot, and shoot some homing missiles. Well, I'm more curious whether Forever will actually die today or not.
Oh, I mean, that is, are we predicting that? Is Forever gonna die today or just game 1?
That's right. Oh,
they're taking contact on the Spirit Breaker Ghost. Is gonna get right as everything connects. Deny will not fly in time as we get the first blood collected by Cancun's Ursa. And this is a great start if you're on the Tunisian squad.
Yeah, also goes to the correct hero, because Ursa is going to be the one that's up against the Enigma last pick counter, which was always going to be a hard matchup. Maybe with that first blood, he can get fast boots, a little bit more regen perhaps, to make that lane a little bit more stomachable.
We're going to see a bit more of a contest, because I think they got the potential for that. They have the Poison Sting innate ability for the Venomancer. The Gale is off cooldown. They could probably go for more. They are under an observer ward up in this top dire side river, but okay, Forever will just abandon it. We see the Enigma bottom trying to approach Cancun. It should be a fine trade. 2 for 2 bounty runes, but giving away the first blade, like you mentioned, Black, to the Ursa is gonna be quite punishing, as she has the full bracer and a stick coming to her.
Yeah, bracer, also an item that probably needs to get looked at. Feels like everyone's just building that thing.
Yeah, I mean, we started to see like either multiple bracers yet again, which is usually assigned to stop that. We have an attempt connection of a Chaos Bolt up top, and the Rocket Barrage is not going to do too much work onto the Slardar.
Yeah, look, even the Enigma is building a bracer. Then you know there's something wrong with it.
Bracer Enigma. It is a core Enigma, right? So it's maybe a bit more expected. And don't do that on your supports. Position 4's Enigma, please. I beg of you, viewers, do not ruin your pubs like that.
No, do it.
This Enigma also went for the Event Horizon, which is not the facet we talked about yesterday when we said Enigma is really good as a core. We thought the one that spawns an extra Eidolon might be better, but we will get the 15% move speed penalty if you are in Enigma's range.
Yeah, it's honestly a pretty strong facet.
Zanetti.
Also, look at the innate ability as well. Damage reduction is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is very, very potent, I have to admit here. The kill potential on this bottom lane will come in level 3, I expect, but up this top lane, this Gyro CK into Slardar Tiny, either of these 4 heroes, well, these 2 combos can punish each other, as we have a Reality Rift into Chaos Strike, but the nice Slithering Crush will allow them to get out of there. In mid, Kemps and Stone. I mean, it's this matchup has happened so many times over the last 3 weeks or so. I would say I don't expect to see anything special from either of these 2 until we see some rotations.
Yeah, I agree. There's a stun coming in though, and Spiritback is also charging. He's level 2.
Is he gonna connect? Oh no, it's gonna be too late. We have to hold that attempt.
Yeah, would have definitely been a kill if maybe he was there a second or 2 earlier. But yeah, Storm generally just free farms in this lane. It's a very simple lane for Storm. As you said, DK can't really pressure him too much.
Yeah, but Kemp should also be fine using the Breathfire to collect some of the creeps, especially the range ones. And he's very sustainable with the Dragon Blood passive, right? I mean, it's not a passive anymore. I think it's the innate ability on DK, if I'm not wrong, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of strong, actually, if you think about it.
I mean, the innate Dragon Blood is definitely very strong, because it just scales until level 30 now as well.
Oh my goodness, Ghost down bottom with a couple of back-to-back bashes on top of all the blood rate, but look at Cancun turning around. Mega Way, though, will be the one to collect Conan onto the side with a usage of the Eidolons and a great use of the Maleficent. So far, so good for this Ursa and the Enigma, but the supports are really not having a good time. You know, dying on the Veno, it's something that it's inevitable. The Veno has a really poor movement speed and not the highest armor, but you don't want to die that much unless you have completely wasted your mana.
Yeah, we see yet another charge on the Storm Spirit as well. He doesn't have a bottle charge anymore. They must have seen that. Maybe he kind of just, you know, wants to die to get a full refill.
Connecting with the charge in mid, and Stone, Fairy Fire is gonna try to turn around. Look at the TP from Q, and now Ghost. One more right click will do the job, but in the end, it will be Stone falling first before the trade takes place. And mid lane, not looking too good for Tunisia. Zanetti up top, also in trouble, getting pursued by Forever and the Famous Star. And I think they should be able to connect with the Reality Rift in just 1 second, pulling the Slaughter back. No strike just yet, and Forever decides to go back to the creeps.
Yeah, I should be able to kill him with just... ooh, nice juke. There's a rocket. He should just be dead. Not a whole lot he can do.
I don't even know if it's worth it for Zanetti at this point. I have to admit with you, I think if you die and then just respawn, go back to lane is much better than creating... What space are you creating? You're getting chased by the Gyro. The CK gave up long ago, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, 100%. He wasted quite a bit of time there.
This is a solo kill mid, I believe. He doesn't have Breathfire for 2 points in Breathfire. He's maxing out the Dragon Blood. But I think if he went 2-1-2, he could have probably killed Stone over there.
Yeah, I mean, especially with that poison damage now, which is quite potent early on.
Yeah, I mean, we said Storm is going to have a good lane, but of course, dying to that rotation from the Spirit Breaker was a big pain as Ghost. Reminiscent of Bob yesterday. Look at the bashes. Now the Maleficent will turn around and the Eidolons are doing so much damage. Conan, I mentioned Veno does not have sufficient armor to sustain through that.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen that slow? Because he was trying to move away from Enigma. Does he get a stun? There's no boots on Enigma. He's a little bit faster in the Ursa though.
He should be fine.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Base boots also arriving at the same time. An LTP mid to refill the bottom, but there's a level 6 on Chems, and now Gale to turn around onto the Gyrocopter. But this Storm Spirit is just dying to the magic damage Breathfire, plus a couple of right clicks from this Gyro Rocket Barrage. Get the kill, it will be a traded. It's a 2-for-1, and look at Chems, he doesn't care. He's got the assist of Ghost with the Spirit Breaker coming in, charging, Bash, Dragon Tail. One more right click will do the job in Cancun. It's the Ursa rotating to help his mid laner in the end. Ends up helping the opponent mid laner.
Yeah, and already 3k gold up in 6 minutes. That's just massive. I mean, Egypt is just... Oh, we already said it. They're one level ahead. One level ahead of the rest of the playing field. Oh, Storm is still level 5.
Very confident there to try that level 5 versus level 7 on the Dragon Knight. But let's take a quick look at the entire action that we just saw in the mid lane tower, Black, as it's the level disadvantage. It all started rolling in the favor of Egypt on the back of that Spirit Breaker rotation at level 4 for the Storm.
Yeah, they're definitely pressuring the Storm a lot, and the instant stun of DK is just perfect. Chems knows exactly how far he can go. It's, yeah, I mean, they're just being outclassed. Egypt is just really good. They know exactly what they can do with the heroes. Meanwhile, we saw Black Hole in the bot lane. Easy solo kill onto the Venomancer. And Ursa is also getting bullied. Like, this last pick Enigma is working out really, really well.
We often see Enigmas being reluctant to use their Black Hole early on, which I honestly think it's a mistake. This time around, we just see the Black Hole being used and reset its cooldown, get something with it, one kill, and then Mega Wave continue to pressure the tier 1 tower. In mid, this tier 1 most likely falls Stone with an attempt denying, but in the end will be unsuccessful, and Chems is just fully TPing down bottom, really wants to join up with Meg to get the kill onto the Ursa before she hits that level 6.
Get the tower down as well. There's the second tier 1 tower gone. The Enigma choo-choo train is definitely... Oh, careful with the Venomancer. He's only level 3. Really under level on the supports.
Conan, I don't see you too well, my friend. Charge in cooldown for 10 seconds, but Stone is actually getting bullied by the support Gyrocopter. Double Gale, good connection. Ghost will have charge in 1 second, but I think it might be a bit too deep for him to go there. As... oh my goodness, Q is also only level 4. What was the status of the Wisdom Runes, Black?
They got both.
Yeah, that explains it.
Got both again, just like yesterday. Like, the awareness of the timing is really strong on the Egypt side. Enigma is going for an Orchid against the Storm Spirit. Very interesting item choice for an Enigma.
Oh, Avalanche toss. Gale connects onto the Gyro. He's level 6, higher than a Slaughter, but it's going to be a big kill if they manage to get it. Nice cooldown, trying to do some damage. Famouser is just so sustainable for a position 5, and now it's going to enable Forever to come in with the Reality Rift and get the trade onto Zanetti's Slaughter.
Yeah, making it look very easy. Gyrocopter, he doesn't even really have many tank items, does he? 900 HP. Still took him a long time to kill that. But that's also the problem with Slaughter. If you don't have a good game, like your damage output just isn't there. Oh, easy kill also on the Veno. He just got 2-tapped.
I don't know what's happening as Stone is level 7. It feels like one of the only players to have his ultimate. And now the Zanetti corrosive stun. It's going to be very good. The Slithering Crush coming in just in the right moment to enable them get a kill. And yes, they are playing from very far behind, but at this point in time, even if you're at a disadvantage, you're trading carries for supports, it's looking better for you gold-wise, but look at this rotation. Zanetti has hit level 6, now can reduce some of the armor of the dire side, of course.
Yeah. DK just hitting away at the tower. Going for Mage there next. I'm gonna make him super tanky. That's pretty much the only weakness the hero has. He has high armor and high regen. He's just a little bit scared of magic damage. That Arcane Rune, if they have a smoke, they could potentially make a fight happen here.
What a black hole bottom, black. Meg committing to the Ursa. Ursa managed to pop the ultimate in time, and now the TP is coming in from Q. Ghost trying to go a bit too deep. He does not have the ultimate. The Nether Strike will not be coming through, and now the Storm Spirit with the right clicks. Bish, bash, bosh. Meg will fall, and that was a hell of an overcommit from Meg there, being a bit too overconfident in the backlines of the tier 2 bot.
Yeah, and Slaughter might pay the price for that over-rotation, though. Nah, he should be fine as well.
I think it's fine. He's turning
There's the
around.
Arcane Rune.
They're jumping in, Stone. Beautiful there, running out of mana. They want to get the gyrocopter at least. I think they're going to connect. Oh, unlucky miss. Trust doesn't get in now. The Dragon Tail should get the work down onto Stone as the Bash coming in, and look at Forever joining up his team. Stone, no more HP, no more mana. Nether Strike to secure it. And it's going to be Conan 1 versus 4 in the mid lane, trying to juke left, trying to juke right, but the only juke you'll see from him will be in about 12 seconds when he respawns.
Yep, and as there's being charged on the bot lane, he is not really respecting them moving down there. And he can't get out. There's no mana for TP. So how are they going to save him? The answer is probably they won't. Should be casting Enrage momentarily. Then you just wait for the Enrage to wear off. And no. Okay.
It's very speedy though, and the cooldown, the respawn timers are so low because everybody is so under-leveled on the side of Tunisia. You know, looking at the bright side, I assume it's unlucky you don't have ultimates, but you spawn early to save your carry. As this was, I mean, if this Slithering Crush connects onto the gyro, you kill him and then you get out. But then those extra few steps that you take towards the river is what made you overcommit. And with the rotate from Camps and Forever Black, it's impossible for Tunisia to do anything there.
Yeah, but we have seen the same tendency yesterday a little bit, that they just get a little bit overzealous when they're on a chase, and it results into them getting wiped. Because honestly, yeah, you probably want a gyro kill to get some net worth back, but if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. No need to overchase like that, because you're going to put yourself in a bad spot, and a team like Egypt is going to punish you every time. Up to 9k gold now. Mage Slayer already up on the DK. He's so incredibly hard to kill now.
There's a shield rune, I feel, on the Zanetti Slaughter. It's not a shield bubble, it's a shield rune. Not the strongest when he has only 1200 HP, but doesn't look that bad and lasts quite a long time. He doesn't want to die for at least another 1000 gold to get his hands on the Blink Dagger. But the push is relentless, right? You've got the Dragon form, you've got the Eidolons. Yeah, they're just continuing to pressure this tier 2 mid, and Stone is the only saving grace, currently level 9 on his Storm Spirit, but everybody else is not having a game. Like look at this Ursa. She's not even halfway through to having the Battle Fury yet.
Yeah, it's a tough game for the Ursa, and it's not really gonna get easier because Enrage is usually a super strong spell, but Black Hole of Enigma actually hard counters that. He's almost up to an Orchid as well on the Enigma. So Storm from then on out is going to have a lot of problems too. Yeah, like all Egypt really has to do now is farm up their core items, then secure Roshan, and then it's already high ground time for them. Because a hero like DK is just perfect in these kind of games, right? He can just siege the high ground by himself. No need to do anything fancy.
Also the Enigma, just the presence of Enigma, right? Even if you do manage to get a jump in on the CK or the Dragon Knight, who are very tanky, by the time you burst them down, the Enigma will just gotta be on top of you with a Black Hole. They're trying to get on camps.
He's damn tanky.
They are very good at this, cheating their spells nicely, but they're only getting him below half HP. And now the gyros here, the cooldown will create the separation. Zanetti, you don't want to overstep that. The Spirit Breaker goes for Stone, he's gonna dodge that, and now the Nether Strike will connect. The Black Hole to the solo Ursa will fall, no ultimate, and they're still trying to get at least a single kill. Stone overcommits, gets reality boosted stun, and now the beautiful corrosive phase, and the avalanche on top of it. The toss is coming through, they don't have any other dispel. AoE spells not coming in from the Dire. Forever is under the Noxious Plague. It keeps on popping. Another stun. Double kill, triple kill. Can someone stop
that
him?
plague, man?
finally, the Venomancer coming in. Meg, is he gonna get back? One more hit will do the job, and it's a full team wipe. Tunisia have done it. They got on top of each other and sacrificed themselves to the AoE stuns of the Radiant squad.
Look at that fight recap. Venomancer dealt 3,500 damage, the highest on the Radiant side.
Wow.
That Plague bounced like 20 times. I don't know. I didn't know it bounces that much. That felt way more than twice.
I believe, if I'm not completely wrong, if it lingers on a target and the target dies, that's when it bounces. And because he has the facet of double bounce, it does it again. As we see, a bit of an overcommit here from Ghost, feeling like he can deal with this Zanetti Slaughter. But Zanetti is now level 12 on the back of that previous skirmish, and Ghost just feeds.
Yeah, we'll have a quick look again at the last fight. DK a little bit overconfident. He knows it's very tanky, but the fight actually starts out quite decently in their favor. But you just see, in roughly 5 seconds, they all stack up, and that Noxious Plague of Venomancer, even though it's just level 1, look at how much it does, and look how often it bounces around. That to me, look
Once, twice, 3 times,
crazy.
4 times, 5 times, 6 times.
Like, how does it bounce so much? That's crazy. It deals so much damage every time
7,
too.
it bounced again.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even know it can do that.
It was 8 bounces.
Yeah, I did not know that this ability is capable of bouncing that much.
Impact damages for spreads after the first one is grinding for 2 times. Do you think it bounces 2 times per hero that you connect with, and because there were 4 heroes in the area, that's why it bounced 8 times?
Radiant are scanning.
It could be. It could very well be.
It's also interesting, if you remember, Black, yesterday, Tunisia was in a similar positions versus Morocco with one of their supports getting level 6 at minute 16, and then when they got it, they won the team fight. That's what happened just there, as now the Blink on camps, and now the Spirit Breaker charge. Storm Spirit did not go far enough. The Orchid coming in from the Enigma. Storm is still alive. Q is trying to buy some time, but in the end, he will pay his life.
Oh, no Plague.
Okay, he's alone versus 5 heroes, but they're scared. Look at it, they're spreading up. They don't want to go to the same thing. They got tagged by the Noxious Plague, and they just completely were going separate ways, learning from their previous mistake. Team Egypt, very good from them.
Well, can you blame them after that last one? I would be scared.
Yeah, I'm with
so
you.
much poison.
Oh,
It should be a pretty easy tier 2 tower top. No glyph as well. And now back to AK again. This is kind of what happens to Egypt every game, I would say. You know, like they get up to a really comfortable lead, then they have this one fight where they just feel insanely overconfident, and then after that they're like, yeah, okay, time to be serious, guys.
I gotta ask you, right? Do you feel like this Battle Fury will do anything for Ursa at minute 18 when she'll probably have it?
I mean, there's no immediate effect. You'll still need to farm up another item or 2 to really have, you know, any sort of use in fights, because if Enigma wants to, you can just black hole the Ursa every time.
Yeah.
And Rage doesn't do anything against that. It's really tough, honestly. It really is. I think this game would be almost unwinnable if Enigma went for the Aura bot style. Because that together with his innate ability, where allies have up to 15% damage reduction, makes your teammates so incredibly tanky around you.
You're telling me the Tranquil Drums Orchid is not a build on Enigma, Black?
No.
Oh, wow.
I think the first time probably that I saw this item combination.
I'm gonna be honest. If we can have the access to like all the database from Dota's history, pro games of course, tier 3 and above, I don't think this has ever been built on any hero. Not even, well, especially not on Enigma. Like Tranquil into Orchid is it's telling me we're going places with the meta.
Yeah, and Tranquil into Drums into Orchid. Like Drums kind of makes sense still, since it's an aura item of course, but
yeah.
Then the Orchid is kind of out of nowhere. Into Boots of Bearing, okay. That's why I bought the Tranquil boots for the Bearing boots.
I mean, the drums do the same thing. I mean, that makes sense. It's still the Orchid like stop in between all of that is a bit confusing, because Enigma Boots of Bearing is not that uncommon, right? But the Orchid. And I would have assumed if we go for the Orchid build here, she might be going for Travel Boots Orchid then. You know what I'm saying? Like Travel Boots Orchid, Blink, TP with the creeps, jump on top of someone with a teammate after you fortify the wave, I guess. Anyway, they're winning, and we can't judge it that much. But if somehow Tunisia manages to mount a comeback, we will go back and question this build-up.
He just jumped to farm a creep camp, by the way. I just want to highlight that when I did that 8 years ago, I got flamed the crap out of me.
Oh, I thought you got kicked.
No. Or maybe, as a consequence, actually, I don't know. Maybe that was in the back of their heads, you know?
They're like, man, this guy's like the best carry in the region. But remember that one time he used drums to get a last hit? Nah.
Yeah, screw that guy. He's out of here.
Oh, man. Okay, let's look at this CK. 7-1-2. 11,000 net worth almost. Forever has one death, by the way. We were talking if he's gonna die, and I said it was gonna happen this game. So he died once. Oh, they're chasing Ghost up top. Cancun, where are you heading, my friend? Oh, mass TP's out. They don't want to fight more. They spotted someone, I believe, with the word lane or word on the twin gate. I mean, it's good disengage. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, very nice, very fast, very decisive. Even some pro teams struggle with this kind of decision making, that really everybody gets out immediately. Oh, CK's popping ult. He's waiting for the Ursa.
Middle tower is under attack.
Is Ursa gonna run through his hands? Oh, he is coming.
This is not looking good for Cancun.
Oh no, they're
That is some unfortunate timing if you're inside of Tunisia, but Meg seems to feel something. They're going for him. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger. Orchid, Reality Reef, Mish Bash Mosh, and no more HP on the bear. You might have gotten your Battle Fury, but if you want to farm with it, you'll have to, well, go somewhere else. Look at Ghost, just bashing everybody, now stopping. Oh, what is happening? They're trying to get him, and the Electric Vortex will connect. One more bash will get the job done, and now they want to get out of there, and they should do it as soon as possible.
Yeah, with a smoke as well. They're somewhat stopping the bleeding, which is good. But the late game scaling of the Dire side is also incredibly strong, right? We spoke about how Enigma is one of the best late game heroes in the entire game. So do you really want to try to contest them for late game?
No, I don't think you do.
They have so many good items too. Gyrocopter already has Guardian Greaves. They have pretty much everything they need. If only Enigma had, you know, like a BKB instead of Orchid.
Don't get me started, Black. It's the game plan. It's part of the game plan. As we see Forever right now, gonna go in and claim the first round on bottom, which is, I mean, everything is going in their favor, but even more so now. When you're an Ursa or you have an Ursa in your team, you want to be the ones dominating the tempo of the Roshan, getting the first one, even if you're playing from behind, right? Right now, they don't have the facilities for that. They don't have the spells or the items to jump in the pit and contest, and they will completely go up top, trying to claim their first tier 1 of the match. They haven't gotten a single tower just yet, and if I'm not wrong, look at this tier 1 top. It's also very healthy still.
It is, and they're actually TPing, trying to defend that potentially. You have to be careful though. Chain TPs are always very risky.
Okay, Zanetti. Who's finding who? The Orchid coming in. Now the cooldown just on top of him, and the Rocket Barrage deals so much damage. That is incredible, Black. And that is not even a shard for the homing missile.
Ridiculous amount of damage. Also, cooldown does a ton of damage now, especially if you get hit by multiple ones. How's DK looking? Finishes Blink, going for Manta Style next. Pretty standard stuff. Forever also going for Manta Style.
Oh, jump in mid. Kems does not have the Aegis. He is quite lonely. We just need a bit of follow-up. You're throwing in the Noxious Blink, and now the TP coming in, but the Avalanche, the Tiny has the Blink Dagger, and Q will throw in the toss and collect the kill. That is what we wanted to see from Tunisia, and definitely not what I wanted to see from Egypt. Also, the Spirit Breaker, very low in HP. Okay, they would kill the Tormentor as too. That makes sense.
Yeah, get control of the shot nice and early. I like that.
And he's now gonna have the homing missile shard. Goodness me, if he dealt a lot of damage before on the gyrocopter, it's gonna be even dirtier from now on.
Yeah, when is the Rocket Barrage damage challenge again? Level 20. Okay, so it's still quite away. Quite far away. But if that ever comes online, suddenly his damage skyrockets again.
Okay, please switch your Vambrance onto intelligence. Come on, famous sir, please. We want to get extra magic damage. Spell amp. You don't need magic resist. They're not jumping you ever.
Hey, we all love to be more tanky.
No, it's just a Venom. It's fine.
Goodbye, Mr. Venom.
As long as Stone doesn't die, it's okay. He also managed to complete a full Spirit Vessel on him, and Conan will be quite happy with that because I think he ran out of charges, so dying will grant him one more charge for his Spirit Vessel. Hey, you gotta
always go to the upsides of everything.
Yeah, the glass is half full, not half empty. But I gotta say, right, for the last, whatever it's been, since minute 10, they have been playing at about 9 to 10k gold deficit, and Tunisia is still there, only 10, 11k just now after the tier 2 behind, so managing to hold the deficit at a pretty even number for 15 minutes, it's the quality of a good team.
Yeah, I agree. They stopped the bleeding, and now Ghost is just dead. Very deep. Very, very deep. Orchid also picked up on Slaughter. I think 33 popularized it a little bit.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I think, and you tell me what your thoughts are, but I believe, especially last patch, Orchid was quite an undervalued item, and I thought it was really making a resurgence because we kept on seeing people building it on the Slaughters, on the DKs, on the Weavers. But then that lasted for like 2 weeks and then people just gave up on it. I don't know why. I feel like the item is in a really good spot, especially with the amount of attack speed it gives you.
I think it's one of the most comfortable items to build up to as well.
Exactly.
It's one of the few items in Dota that gives mana regen, attack speed, and health regen, most importantly. Like, not many items in Dota give all of these together.
Can I also say
and it also has an upgrade.
And also say this for the viewers at home. No, this doesn't mean I vouch for Enigma Orchid, okay? Don't do that. Jump in.
I think I'm trying to do that as well.
Famous Sir gets caught, and they're trying to chase for more. He is very beefy, level 14 Tiny, and now the Rapper jump in back on top of the Q Tiny. And the Nether Strike, the Slaughter. That didn't feel like an offlane Slaughter at all, as he just dies to the Phantasm Illusions of the CK. What a bit of the assist of the rest of the team. Okay, well, you got 1 for 2. Let me see the fight recap. It's very much favoring the Dire side, as you would expect when you only lost 1.
Are they going high ground?
They have the
there's no glyph.
Okay,
well,
jump
that
in.
Didn't do anything.
Of course he did. He made the storm consume his mana.
Whatever still with the Aegis, of course, only for another 30 seconds
or so, yeah.
So are they gonna overstay their welcome, or are they gonna go back? Probably gonna go back.
I love this. This is good. This is good from Egypt. A lesser team would have maybe overcommitted there, but realizing you want to give them the chance to jump on top of us as soon as the Aegis expires. We saw an attempt yesterday in one of our games, if you remember, killing an Aegis target 2 seconds before the Aegis was expiring. So if the Tunisian side could have chained their spells correctly, they could have gotten quite an easy kill on the CK. In the end, Egypt will go back, farm, and this is what we're going back to Black, right? You talked about this in the pregame analysis. This is what the meta of Dota 2 has succumbed to for the last, what has been 3 years now. Kill, farm, take a tower, farm Aegis, take tier 3 tower with the first Aegis, farm some more, get the second Aegis, get 1 set of racks, keep on farming, squeeze out the map. Third Aegis, you might attempt to get another set of raxes. And I mean, it's great that Egypt understands this and they're playing as you know, most tier 1, tier 2 teams are. But at the same time, with the lead they have, they should squeeze them out a bit more, because I feel like the Storm and Ursa shouldn't have gotten so high levels and so many items, considering how far behind they were.
Yeah, they're definitely loosening their grip on the map a little bit, which maybe Enigma also doesn't feel super comfortable just yet.
Yeah.
You know, that Orchid just kind of ruined the entire build. Like, if he had Blink BKB earlier, I think they can take any fight without any risk ever. No, but right now there's actually a serious risk that they could lose a fight potentially. They're up 14k gold, but on the side of Tunisia you have a lot of damage with the corrosive haze plus the Ursa, who finished up his BKB as well. So there's definitely a lot of respect that goes into it. But as soon as Enigma finishes BKB, the team fight should be pretty simple.
Still have full set of Raxes. They haven't dropped it yet. At 92%. It's lesser than what we've seen yesterday from Egypt. At this point, they had like the 98s, the 99%. Some of the games I feel like they had already finished. So definitely they are halted more than they were in their series versus Libya. But I'm looking at this gyrocopter. You mentioned the Greaves. I don't even know when he had the chance to get a Solar Crest, about to purchase a gem. He is 20 gold behind the opponent's Zanetti offlane Slardar.
Yeah, pretty filthy rich. But gyrocopter just does that though, right? You flag cannon the creep wave. Creep wave is dead. And it's a hero that scales very well with items. I love the fact that he builds great support items. Like Guardian Greaves into Solar Crest makes complete sense against the Slaughter. Buff up your CK as much as you can. Looking for some core items to come out. Ursa, 400 away from Blink.
BKB
Not bad,
already.
but not really game changing.
I think the fact that he has the BKB is good. I'm wondering if at this point, wouldn't it be better to just go, instead of the Blink, just get the Shard? It's like, who are you gonna kill in the black? Yeah, who are you gonna kill in the backline anyway? Like, nobody.
It's a tough call. He still needs a Blink Taker to follow up on the starter jump potentially. But that's the thing. As soon as Enigma has BKB, you just black hole the Ursa every time, and there's no damage anymore. You do nothing. You wait for Ursa to show. Blink BKB, black hole. Done.
Eidolon's pushing the top lane in. This is not the lane they want to go to, right? They've got exposed mid-racks. You gotta just wrap around and get that. There's also a shield rune spawning in the bottom riverside black. Is anyone gonna spot it? They don't have vision over there currently, and there's no Oracle on their team either. Well, you know, we talked about this hero maybe making an appearance in the qualifiers. It was only banned a few times yesterday in the Egypt series, actually, but this time around uncontested. I think at this level of Dota, Oracle could be so good only because of that innate ability. I genuinely think that.
Yeah, I think anything that is as strong as that, like this, that's basically considered cheating, is, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Honestly, I consider Enigma kind of to be cheating as well. Like,
okay,
you shouldn't just be allowed to have damage reduction for your whole team for doing nothing. No?
That does make sense. No, I mean, some of them, of course. This is still very early on in 736 with the addition of these innates and facets. I remember when the first talent trees were added, and some of them were absolutely incredible, and some of them were truly useless. It will take a while until everybody gets properly balanced out. But speaking of facets, Black, I honestly, yesterday you were doing like the let me Google a hero type to the deal to see what is a useless facet, and I wanted to tell you to check one out and tell me your thoughts about it. Can you take a look at the innate ability of Enchantress, please?
Oh, you mean with the neutral item?
Yes.
I mean, there's some niche situations where it could be really good. Let's say it's just -7 and you get your core heroes like 2 items instead of 1 straight away, and they snowball the lane because of it. Yeah, outside of that, of course, it's, yeah, not the greatest.
Oh, they're gonna break the smoke. This Spirit Breaker is out of Shadow Blade. No, they thought they broke it from the high ground, but they were too far from that to even be possible. They don't have a gem, and dust-wise, I believe they had dust. Nobody realized it could have been the Spirit Breaker Ghost doing so much work. In all honesty, that might have been the play of the game.
Yeah, and he's staying very true to his name. Truly ghost-like.
Absolutely, don't know where they're coming from. As Roshan is already spawned, Meg will spot it in just a second. Has the BKB, 9 seconds for the Enigma. Looking forever. He's so hungry for the Roshan. Coming in, Chaos Strike, 2 seconds, and this Roshan just crit after crit. Maleficent doing such a good work. It's gonna be the banner, also claimed by Egypt. Do you like the newer banner, Black?
Banner, I haven't really seen it in action too much yet, and every time I have, it was pretty, you know, the impact wasn't the greatest. I didn't want to insult the item too much, but I'm sure that if you use it properly and well, in a well thought out way, together with your team, it can be very, very strong. I mean, the bust it gives is very strong, right?
Yeah.
For a push.
I feel like it's a way more viable now than it has been in its previous iteration. That was just kind of like a thing that didn't do that much. People didn't care too much for the banner. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily meta or better than cheese, but it's more viable. Yeah, let's just call it that. As we now have Phantasm jumping in and trying to get Reality Rift on Stone. He just gets out really quickly. But this is a level 18 Storm Spirit. He is getting bigger and bigger. And so is Cancun on the Ursa.
Yeah, so that's basically what I was about to say. Every time there's a glyph on the tier 3, you just place the banner, free buff doesn't die, and you get the free push. So it's basically an anti-glyph, you know, mechanic, which I like. Glyph was way too strong. With Zanetti.
Falls. Zanetti is already trying to wrap behind him, but he's the one getting spotted, and now we have the Storm Spirit jumping in, trying to get something done, but it's gonna be the BKB run away from the Slardar. Dragon Knight tries to pursue it a couple, right? It should do the job, but look at the Ursa jumping in on top of the Dragon Knight. The buyback from the Slardar. The Ursa has to pop the BKB in the end range, and look at the double slithering crash in the backline, but we need to follow. It's a 5-man avalanche, and the Noctis coming in. The damage, it's a black hole melting through the Slardar, the Ursa, and the Storm Spirit. And GG gets called out, and Egypt puts the final nail in the coffin of Tunisia's game number 1.
Yeah, making it look easy at the end there. I mean, that's what we spoke about, right? The Enigma factor. Like, you super hard commit. Everyone's like, go, go, go. We gotta kill this guy now. Then gets BKB over 500 health. Turns around with Black Hole. Fight over. Enigma is truly an incredible hero. And there are a couple of heroes in Dota that have this effect on the game. Where you just really can't play the same. You know, like Patch is one of them. Enigma, Bad Rider. There's just a couple of heroes where you really have to rethink the way you play Dota. And every hard commitment you make might or might not end up with you under the ground.
These were some of the early, let's call them oversteps from Tunisia. It's quite hard to say they're overstepping when they are the ones getting killed under the tower, but you know, TPing an Ursa level 4 to help your mid laner is never a good look. And we see Cancun getting punished here. There was already 3k gold lead. Minute 9 is 5.5k gold lead. And it was one of the saving graces for Tunisia, killing this gyrocopter a couple of times. But we just know how much damage he dealt to them and allowed Forever to come in and continue cleaning up. This is the one fight that they really, again, overstepped onto this gyrocopter and got punished by Kemp's and Forever's rotations. It feels like the early game was the story of we want to get more than our shoulders can.
Yeah, I do think though they did very well on trying kind of match the pace that Egypt has in the early game, because we spoke about it yesterday and today as well, that Egypt's early game is just incredibly fast, and if you let them get away with it, they will run over the mid game, which is basically exactly what happened this game. So I like the sort of approach they had. It just wasn't quite fast enough and quite good enough to match up with Egypt's movement in the early game. So if they can refine it just a little bit in game 2, there's actually a realistic chance of them, you know, going toe-to-toe with them.
Yeah, maybe in this game number 2, now that they... Because like we said, they managed to hold on to that deficit after they cut their losses for quite a good while. In the end, it was also the fact that they got in the late game versus what was a very strong lineup right from the Egypt side, including this Enigma. So maybe for the second game in this series, Tunisia can bounce back like they did yesterday to take us to a game 3. As we see, minute 25. See, this is what I mean. They were down at 9k at minute 8, and now they're only down 10k at minute 25, right? So it's a good showing from Tunisia. But with this loss here, Black, if they do end up falling to Egypt 0-2, I believe this would mean they would be out of contention for that first place.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's always tough, you know, when your first day doesn't go your way, and then you have to play the favorites in a basically all or nothing series. It can be very daunting. So hopefully they don't let it get to them for game 2. Like, we know Egypt is incredibly strong. They know Egypt is incredibly strong. They all, like the entire group knows Egypt is incredibly strong. So yeah, how many more wins does Egypt actually need to secure that top 1? Is this win enough, or do they need to win one more?
So it depends on the results. At this point, if Egypt, let's say, wins this match, right, they would still have to face Morocco, who has yet to lose, right? Morocco is also undefeated, just like Egypt. And that will probably be, I assume, the equivalent of our grand final here for the North African qualifiers, Black. But at the same time, before then, if Egypt beats Tunisia, and then Tunisia goes on an undefeated route in their last 2 games, and Egypt lose 0-2 both of their upcoming games, there might still be a tiebreaker chance. Again, those are a lot of ifs that we don't really think are probable.
Yeah, sounds about right. But you know, esports, sports, any sort of competition, it's never really set in stone. Yeah, of course, favorites and dark horses, but upsets happen every now and then. And there's just so many variables involved, so nothing's impossible. It could happen. Very unlikely to happen, but it could happen.
Well, I know for a fact what is likely. It is very likely that we're going to be getting more exceptional Dota from these 2 teams after we send it to a short break. Welcome back to the World Esport Championship qualifiers for North Africa Dota 2. I am Waxen, joined by Black, and it's just the second map of the day. First series, Egypt versus Tunisia, was a pretty one-sided affair, Black. We had a bit of a long extended break due to some, Steam connection issues. Happens every now and then for the Dota game that we love and play and cast, Black. But hopefully now Tunisia had all the time in the world to talk about what went wrong in game one and come in with a strong game plan to defeat the titan of the region that has been Egypt.
Yeah, that if they want to do that, there's quite a lot of things that need to change. Will Egypt even allow that? No, now their first pick. Gotta get rid of all the tinies, all the super annoying heroes. Yeah, I don't know. I think Egypt is even stronger when they're first pick, to be honest, because as we said, they're not really reliant on that last pick hero, you know. They build very solid strats from the get-go. And yeah, it's gonna be tough for Tunisia, who even yesterday had a couple of draft gaps as well. Whereas with Egypt, you don't really see those these little mistakes in the draft. It's always very solid. It's always very well thought out. And there's a witch doctor. First time we see it on stream.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the Voodoo Festeration yesterday. Us wanting to get it on stream to see if this hero is as interesting as I think it's interesting a safe word to describe Witch Doctor in the current patch. Black, would you agree with that?
Interesting is it's a very interesting term.
Fair.
I do agree. I love to run Witch Doctor middle actually. Voodoo Festeration plus Radiance is very fun and very griefy. Don't do it. But it does a lot of damage. It seriously does.
It is really strong, and especially like a tier 3 item, you get the Cloak of Flames, or the cloak that deals extra burn damage. It's very interesting, and I don't think it should be stacking, but it does. That is the way Dota currently works, and Tunisia will respond with something very strong in the Night Stalker. I love seeing that from them. I think the Night Stalker is really good at dealing with this sort of squishy well, I assume support Witch Doctor, even if it's going to be a core. Night Stalker jumps on top of you. You don't really want to buy a 4-staff on Witch Doctor. So, yeah, great response from Tunisia.
Am I seeing this right? Witch Doctor is the only hero with 3 facets?
He's not the only hero. There are a few heroes with multiple facets. I think Tekis has 3 as well, if I'm not wrong.
Oh yeah, you're right. There are a couple. I remember now. Why is that a thing? That should not be a thing.
I think lore-wise for Tekis is he has 3 components. He's Spleen, Spoon, and Speen, or whatever the names are.
So no, I mean in general, like how come most heroes only have 2 and then a couple have 3? Again, it's like just this cheating thing, you know? Like you should be allowed to. Oh, Shadow Fiend!
10 seconds remaining.
5
seconds.
GG's, go next. I mean, what is there to say? It's
so good.
It's rough. It's gonna be rough. I mean, they banned the Phoenix in second phase instead of the Shadow Fiend. Why would you do that to yourself? I don't really know. And it's gonna be punished. Tunisia is gonna be punished by the Shadow Fiend pick, and now you have the Witch Doctor as well to bring some of that sustain to keep the Shadow Fiend alive and well if he gets engaged in some skirmishes. The Cask is so annoying to play against, but it's gonna help the SF to line up the raises. It's rough. It's a rough start from Tunisia after what seemed to be a good Night Stalker game.
I mean, Night Stalker is still a very good hero against SF because a lot of people don't really build BKB on SF anymore with this caster type. So that silence could still potentially ruin his game. But yeah, like if you're not too careful, Night Stalker, you get raised twice, and then your movement speed is really crippled. Earthshaker again. Okay, we've seen a very successful Shaker yesterday, and truth be told, whenever tournaments get more exciting and more on the line, these big heroes are always coming back. Enigma's coming back, Earthshaker's coming back, Tidehunter's coming back, Magnus, you know, all these heroes where one good ultimate
5 seconds remaining.
Gone.
I know we were just talking about facets and like why some heroes have 2 facets and whatnot. And Why do some of them have 3 facets? What do you think of Chen, Black? Chen has 5 different facets.
Wait, he does?
Yes.
Oh, he actually does. Oh yeah, because of every different
Every
creep.
neutral.
I remember that.
It's an interesting one. I mean, sadly or happily, depends what side of the spectrum you're at. Chen will not definitely make an appearance today, as the hero was busted last patch, but I haven't seen much Chen being played. I think Snaking had a few attempts to run it in 736, and they were quite successful, but otherwise most teams are staying away from it, including the likes of Poppy, right, who is a traditional Chen lover, we could call him. So Earthshaker paired up with Shadowfiend and Witch Doctor. I feel like I'm watching a draft from about, I don't even know, 2018, 2015. It's great. I love seeing these 3 hero make a resurgence. Whereas the Dark Willow, I've seen so much Dark Willow lately. I feel like we can take a break from the Willow, please.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like the hero very much. I don't like to play against it. It's just a very, very oppressive hero. So hard to kill for most heroes too. Dodges abilities that she really shouldn't be dodging, like Drow's multi-shot, for example, just doesn't affect her while she's in W
Yeah,
for
that
some
doesn't make
reason.
sense. Yeah, that doesn't make no sense to me
And
either.
it just goes through her, and she's like, yeah, I'm fine. Crystal Maiden, though, that's one of my favorite heroes. I've been spamming a lot of mid-CM.
No.
It's not bad.
You're not meant to tell that to our viewers. Yes, it's not bad because you're like, whatever your rank is. These guys are going to go into 2K pubs and run Crystal Maiden, and they're going to get reported. They're going to have no more communication score, and they can't ping their teammates later.
Yeah, and then have to play low priority too. I'm basically helping the Dota community to be cleansed, cleansed by of their impurity.
Okay, I'm gonna ask production for something, Black, because I am just receiving an update via Liquipedia, which is not the main source you should be guys contacting. We should be using IESF.gg to get all of your updates about everything IESF related, especially Dota 2, but you can look at the other games, schedules, and whatnot. Morocco.
10 seconds.
Early on Liquipedia, I'm not confirming that rumor, just asking. Come up as they've completed all their matches and lost all of them. I don't know if that's a typo, it's a mistake. So, ladies and gentlemen at home, don't worry, we will update you once we get any information back from our production team. But let's talk about this Lifestealer Black. Yesterday we had a hell of a debate about his innate ability, and you decided, and you're kind of convincing me, that it's really overpowered, overtuned, getting 2 HP for every single last hit creep that he gets, and last hit like denies as well and kills. Do you think this Lifestealer is a good answer to the Shadowfiend?
It's one of the best heroes against SF for sure, just because you can't ever really Requiem him unless Rage is on cooldown, of course. It's really good against Shaker. Witch Doctor can be good against Lifestealer, but generally Witch Doctor is stronger against these heroes that have lower health pools but higher armor, like mostly agility heroes. So Lifestealer is quite good here. Doom against Lifestealer is not bad. The lane, however, won't be easy. Lifestealer CM is a very strong lane. Like you have this double slow. I like this Lifestealer pick a lot. I think Lifestealer in general is one of the best carries in the patch. Just cause everything is so damn tanky. Even supports get up to like 2 or 3k health. That Feast is really, really strong.
5 seconds remaining.
And we spoke about the Corpse Eater as well, of course. Like 2 health per everything. It's just the scaling is pretty intense. Like you kill 1 creep camp, if it's golems, you just get 12 health for free.
It's so much, yeah. And I think probably the meta that we'll be seeing soon will be trying to find a troll world, like the troll summoners, right? And just let them keep on spawning the small trolls and kill them as much as possible to get even more HP.
Yeah, it could happen for sure. Especially with the Radiance now. It's so easy to farm up a lot of creeps. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Lifestealers in like 30-minute games with plus 1k health or so, which is basically hard for free.
I mean, it's spicy for sure. I can
And the thing is, most of the time you pick Lifestealer in lanes where he really dominates anyway. So he should always at least farm decently. which means he can always make really good use of his toolkit. That Doom hero, though, I mean, it's very strong against any hero, of course. You can't life leech anymore. You can't regenerate any health. So it's good against Lifestealer. And the lane, though, I'm a little bit worried about the lane only.
Yeah.
Because Doom against Lifestealer lane is not easy. You couple that with a CM, Nova Bite. And what do you have as support? Shaker? Like, Shaker Doom is horrible.
I mean,
they are. Those.
What if it's a Doctor Doom?
And well, then you have Earthshaker 5, which is equally as horrible. The problem with Shaker always is his lane just kind of stinks, right? So you have to make up with it by picking the super strong 3 or a self-sufficient 3, which Doom used to be, not as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have 2 melee heroes against the Lifestealer, and as I said, you can literally 1v2 this lane if you wanted
to. Interesting.
So Egypt is like,
I think
what do we do now?
I think this Doom is actually quite solid versus Lifestealer. I don't want to see an Ursa here. And I love this attack. Okay, this is a nice turnaround. The Monkey King, I guess, operates in a similar way to the Ursa. Up there in personal, it gets some of the right click win, the debuff, of course, from the Fatal Bound. What's the right click of Monkey King called? Wait, I'm having a bit of a moment right now.
Jingu Mastery.
The Jingu Mastery, of course. The master himself had to know the answer for that one. To know and the Lina to complete the roster of Tunisia. Hey, I don't know if they're gonna do it in this game number 2, but what I can say about this is they have a much simpler lineup to execute. Lina should match up very well versus the Shadow Fiend mid. Hopefully not gonna lose too hard. Lifestealer should survive this Doom top, and maybe Night Stalker might struggle bottom with the Monkey King, but it's a it depends on the skill level matchup between the two players. So looking at the two picks again, ignoring the lineups of the players, Black, which side do you prefer?
The problem for me is going to be this Night Stalker. I think he's going to get owned quite badly by Witch Doctor Monkey King. And I don't really know what he can bring to the table after that, because if he doesn't get a lot of money, he doesn't get the BKB, then he can't really stop the Shadow Fiend from doing whatever Shadow Fiend wants to do. And Doom, even though his lane won't be easy, he has a way to come back into the game. Night Stalker doesn't. Like Night Stalker needs at least a decent lane to be able to show any sort of impact come mid game. And against Monkey King, it's honestly a very similar story, where Monkey King, if he's 1v1 against Night Stalker and the support's battled out on the side, Night Stalker can't lane. So I'm gonna go with the Egypt's team, simply because of that Night Stalker effect. If they had another offlaner, I actually love their draft. This Lifestealer and Lina make things so simple.
Well, the Night Stalker was the first pick, so maybe that's why we see some of the other heroes kind of be direct counters to him, as we are heading into this game number 2 of the North African qualifiers for IESF 2024 between Egypt and their counterpart, Tunisia. Hopefully Tunisia can make this one a bit more interesting. Black, I would love for us to go to a game 3, but I'm going to give you a hell of a news. Kemps on this Shadow Fiend, he is a grand master, my friend. So, okay, I'm all in. Egypt's taking this.
Well, there have been many overconfident people, Just yesterday, I played against a level 30 Storm as my legendary, fabled, magnificent, you can choose more adjectives if you want to, anti-mage mid, and I absolutely dumpstered him.
No.
Now, to be fair, if it could go beyond level 30, I would probably be like level 70 on anti-mage. But, confidence doesn't always
hopefully we're gonna get the quick reconnects from both sides as
servers are down again. 20 minutes. It's all over.
God, don't tell that to our viewers. Black's just joking, ladies and gentlemen. Even if the servers are down, once we're in game, we shouldn't have any issues. And I really want to bring up a point about this Witch Doctor, because like you said, we haven't had it on the server just yet. What are your thoughts about the Gree, or as I like to call it, the Grish?
The Grish. I mean, it's very interesting, but it's like lots of new things. It's not really been figured out 100% yet. Like min-maxing that thing is not easy, right?
I think, as a witch doctor like expert myself, it's a nice concept, but it's very useless. Not very useless. I feel like it needs a bit more for it to actually feel impactful, or like you need to have a really long game in which you're carrying it, and it's not really the case in most games I've seen people play Witch Doctor, or when I've played a hero myself. So I gotta be honest. I think if it would give you 1.5, what it does now, it would be a bit better. I think doubling it would be OP, but at this current moment in time, I'm not the biggest fan.
So, is it that every death stacks up the value of the gold?
Yes, but when you're a witch doctor, right, you don't really lose that much value to gain back. You know what I'm saying? So unless you do a lot, like the killing spree. Again, this is what takes us back to this witch doctor core. If you go witch doctor core, you get a killing spree and then you die, then maybe it's worth it. As we have a bit of an engagement here with the brambles forever. Nobody caught by the brambles, but Meg, look, just going left, going right, not gonna take the bounty, and they're gonna commit. Conan will be the first to fall, and first blood goes to the Shadow Fiend. Zanetti also overstepping on the high ground. The Brambles trying to keep him safe, but one more right click from the very famous it's a double kill for the Witch Doctor. Hey, I was talking about killing sprees before he dies. This is a good way to start that.
Yeah, it's now what we're looking for. Oh, Lina. What we're talking about. I think he might have actually had almost a chance to kill him there. SF mid lane is incredibly strong, and this is the kind of start that you really don't want to give Egypt. They're already up 1k gold. Yeah, it's gonna get very tough from here on out.
I think yesterday we saw Egypt give away first blood, and I think the second kill in lane as well. And then they still ended up dominating. Now that they got 3 kills, especially the first blood for a Shadow Fiend, it's an absolute disaster. I'm looking at the net worth. This SF is already 1400 net worth at minute 1.
Rookie numbers.
Yeah, like where's his Yule Scepter? Where's his axe? He doesn't have axe minute 2. Come on, man. Let's go,
That's
Kems.
right.
Oh, the Devil's Bargain.
Sloppy.
I love this from our observer. Thank you very much for pointing this out. I think I brought this up a few days ago. Amar said that this is the better facet for the Doombringer, as the double Devour feels slightly underwhelming, but I haven't seen it in pro play just yet. So Meg, just going fully for it, has the possibility of selling items for 90% of their value. Do you like this as a concept?
It's a very interesting concept, but with, again, kind of like the Witch Doctor one. It's... Oh, well. Goodbye,
Wow.
Lina. And it's just as a minute 2 rune spawns as well with the water runes, so now you should get both. But yeah, as a concept, it's very interesting. It's action all over. Goodbye, like Willow as well.
This is not what I wanted to see from Tunisia in this game number 2. Oh, truly tragic start for them. 5 kills down already, 3,000 gold, and it's all the big hitters getting involved in this. It's the Shadow Fiend, it's the Doom, it's the Monkey King, a lot of assists, a lot of kills, and now the Witch Doctor, 3-0-1 in minute 2. This is the dream of every position 5 in the world, I would say.
I agree. Oh, Stone again has to be a little bit careful. Or do you have to be careful as Kems? Kems outplaying. Oh, that was close. Actually, still gets him. Nice.
Stone. What is happening? I mean, we've seen...
That's tough, man.
This is the 5th game we see Stone on stream in the last couple of days, and I don't think he's ever been destroyed like this at all until this point.
Oh, it's only level 1 Dark Willow. Might just be another kill for Kems.
I don't think you've got the facilities to fight here. Q?
I think this is what you call the great crumbling.
They maybe get a kill on... I don't think they can get a kill on anyone.
I mean, I did warn you though. SF is ridiculous.
Yes. But that doesn't justify all the kills that they've been getting bottom as well either.
Sure, but you
And
know,
up top.
SF is SF.
Fine. Fine.
Oh, going for another
Stone.
kill. No, Chems. Relax,
Nice
relax.
side stop from the Light Strike Array. Q comes in, level 2 now on the Dark Wheel. Ophil's a bit more competent to deal with that. He's level 5 at minute 4. This is unbelievable. I gotta say, what is happening? He has 550 XP per minute in minute 4. Wow. Truly impressive.
Yeah, and as we kind of alluded to earlier as well, Monkey King absolutely bullying Night Stalker. He can't lane. And mid lane is also going to get really tough to lane. So if you have 2 lanes where you can't lane, what do?
You don't go to the lane?
Yeah, so where to go?
Middle tower is under attack.
What are your options, Waxon? What are your options? We have no options.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to cook something up. Okay, we got 3 bracers on the Radiant Doom, so you're not killing him. 4 bracers. What? Just what? Now Kemps is under the tower. Will double connect with the raises. One more right click should do the job, but will not overcommit on Stone as the very famous sir gets his 4th kill onto Q down bottom, and now Zanetti. Is he gonna be the first kill? Can we get some support for this Witch Doctor? Or is Zanetti gonna get it? Jump in with the slow. 1 right click, 2, 3, and now the Jingle Mastery will pop. Zanetti, you have overstepped, my friend. You can't even kill this Witch Doctor. 10-0 minute 5. And for all the viewers at home, if you are a Tunisian fan, I'm sorry for you, because Cancun will follow soon as he gets stopped mid-TP. And look at the fissure. Perfect placement. Meg will claim it with the Scorched Earth. It's an absolute massacre.
6k lead in 5 minutes. It's a tough cookie to swallow for Tunisia fans. If there was any hope, you know, Egypt was kind of taking it away from everybody.
I like that attempt from Stone. They tried to create some fog of war with the bracement branch placement. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely incredible from the side of Egypt. Black and me have both been highlighting how they are so dominating, but this is next level even from them.
Oh, that might be the first kill here, though.
Blood Grenade Cancun. You know what? I don't think they can. Unless the Ghost overcommits, the Fissure comes in. Meg just turning around. And, oh, it's gonna be the kill onto Conan, coming in with the long-range zap of the Chain Lightning from the Harpy. This Doom is an absolute menace. The Witch Doctor, position 5, is currently overtaken every single player on the Dire side, and it's only minute 7.
I know, Q in trouble again.
Oh, the Bramble does connect.
Chain TP's bot lane. Lifesteal at level 4 is TPing as well. Or Witcher might actually be dead. He could potentially... Oh, the Voodoo Festration is killing him. Oh, he gets the rune as well.
He's got a Lotus, but he will steal the Wisdom. No matter what, even if Famouser does fall, it will be more than sufficient for him. Though a lot of gold influx will be heading in Cancun's way. One more right click. Bish bash. Nah, okay. 5 kill streaks, 700 gold swing. And we get massive tips. I think Tunisia is enjoying themselves at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, they really are.
Oh,
I mean, the only reason he died is actually because of Voodoo Festration. It triggered the double Ancient stack. And then the Ancient started beating him up. Very interesting interaction there. Yeah, SF has Blink Dagger already at minute 8. And Mana Boots, of course. Of course, you get the 90% value back. It's quite good.
Oh, okay, Conan will fall yet again. Famouser responds and gets back to work, but at least he has been overtaken by the Lina and the Lifestealer. There is a silver lining coming in from Tunisia.
But he hasn't used his Grish yet.
I mean, is there a point? It's minute 8. I wouldn't use it until like minute 15 or even later. Minute 15, if he has a lot of it to get
minute 50, maybe.
Yeah, true. Like I said, it's a fun key item, but not that good. Oh, Cancun very confident popping the Rage, and now the Light Strike Array will connect. We have the Laguna. Yes, we do. And Stone will get there as the amplified damage rune does a lot of good job. Nice hidden in the fog of war. Turn around, Requiem with Soul, and Raze will do the job. Q will fall. Conan, you don't want to go there, my friend. You're on the low ground. Forever's in the backline. And another set of Jingu Restoration, Jingu Mastery jumping in from the CM to the Lina, killed the first sister. Can we get the fiery one out of the game as well? Light Striker ready to create a separation, but look, Ray's Fissure combo at the very
going in
edge.
further?
He's jumping in for more forever. You are a madman into the tier 2. Zanetti level 5 cannot use the Dark Ascension, not in position of it, but finally, could he get punished as Forever's turning around? Cancun, you can't do this, the Blink Dagger, and another Boundless Strike, he falls. Q is level 3, minute 9, 22 to 2. One more kill and the magic number shall be unlocked.
Oh man, this game is... I want to get the Witch Doctor again though, probably.
He's only
He's
level
healing
6.
like mad. Oh, whoa.
Turns around. There's some damage with Stone, but look, a double Boundless Strike Fissure. Meg wanted to pop the Doom, realizing it's not necessary versus Conan CM. Double kill for the Doombringer. But hey, if you're the Witch Doctor, you keep dying, you think, oh,
congrats. Wait,
victory. Tunisia resigned.
wait, does congrats mean they already qualified or what? Why is everyone saying congrats?
I mean, it's congratulations for playing such a great game, right? This game 2 was an absolute statement from Egypt.
Nah, you wouldn't say congrats for that, surely. We're gonna dig in and do some research, and we'll probably have the answer for the next series. But yeah, like there isn't really that much to talk about, unfortunately. I started with the first part already. Going into a level 1 skirmish against an SF in general is very risky. Like his raises are just absolutely insane. Scorched Earth as well, Fissure, you have some of the best level 1 abilities in the entire game. But even beyond that, yeah, they just got completely outplayed on every position, on every lane, in every aspect. It's tough because game 1 was actually quite competitive for a while.
It was also
so going
like
out like this.
If you see some of the kills on the Lina, right? I think at least one of the kills on Lina, Kemps was on the low ground, hitting on the uphill and just not missing at all. So, you know, that's a bit of RNG that is quite unfortunate. As Zanetti here really did his best to get that kill back on the very famouser who was running with a kill streak. At the same time, the Witch Doctor, the only hero to die that game on the Radiant side, Black.
Yeah, 3 times. 3 times the Witch Doctor. Yeah, he just wanted to make sure that they, feel a little bit better. You don't want to make the enemy team leave the game with 0 kills. They'll be very bad mannered.
Yeah, team play. I like this placement from Kemps, by the way, behind the tree in the water, turning around. He had a Blink Dagger. The reason I actually am very sad the game ended so early, Black, is I wanted to at least hit the mid-game point so I can see the Shadow Fiend at its full power. It was a really strong hero, of course, but everybody else on the Radiant side was as strong as him.